following message is being transmitted at the request of the Boundless PodTrap movie review and the guys of the BPT. What you are about to hear contains spoilers to movies. If you don't want to hear these spoilers, please disengage your listening device at this time. If you can't handle those with a possible differing view on a movie, you may also want to disengage your listening device at this time. Stay tuned for a movie review that only the guys at the Boundless PodTrap can give you.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Welcome, friends and lovers, boys and girls and others. It's that time again for the movie review podcast, the Boundless PodTrap's movie review podcast.
Doesn't sound like it from your voice, man.
Sorry, I'm getting into it.
Seductive.
I know.
Welcome to Justin's Fuck Corner.
Man, my brain is so wet right now. Oh,
That's a first.
how you guys doing?
Didn't have to spit on it.
We have a. This is called foreplay. This is early foreplay right here.
Oh my God, your brain's so plump.
Loosen you guys up for the movie
Gorgeous.
review here.
I feel it tensioning.
It's engorging.
It's
with
so
laughter.
smooth and round.
This is on par with the movie.
A
little bit.
Your brain is kind of like your nut sacks.
Boom.
Sacks, plural? See.
Well, each nut has a sack, I think.
No, they're like fucking stuck in a single backpack.
Yeah, you can't break the seam.
Yeah. it's like
You
they
can't. No.
Yeah, okay, you can.
That's a good band name.
I've seen that shit.
Break the seam.
Break the seams.
That's a different voice. That's a horse of a different color.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Welcome.
I thought it's been around here for a while today. I thought it was a ghost.
It happens.
Yeah.
I'm pretty pale.
No, you're not.
All I know is it touched me.
Where? Show me on me where it touched
Spiritually
you.
and physically.
I was talking spiritually.
Show me on my bear where it touched you.
Well, welcome
My
back,
bare
everybody,
ass.
to the Boundless PodTrap movie review. We do have a doozy in store for you. This is John Marshall's movie. John.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
In the format of year and movie, can you please tell us what movie this was?
Hey, Justin. I bet he's listened to quite a few of these before. He's actually been on one before.
Yeah,
That's true.
Well, a few of them.
But did you have that?
John,
He's always been here.
Do you know how podcasts work?
No, I thought this was a
John,
sing-along,
put your mouth up
actually,
to the
so-
microphone.
Really?
There you go.
More?
There it is.
No, I
Sorry.
was just
No,
saying that.
not that.
Take
mic.
it
I was
out.
just saying it because we were acting like you didn't know what a podcast was.
Oh, I thought you couldn't hear me. We did have that issue
failed.
earlier. So
Yeah, we
just
did.
making sure. Okay. Do it over. Ask me the question again. There was too much nonsense.
Hello, John.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't
What
like this
movie
one.
are we doing
I
today?
don't like it one
Take
bit.
three. Take three. That one was too enthusiastic for this
Scared me.
podcast.
And all the kids are scared
It's
now.
going in.
All right, try it again. 3.
Hey, kids, are you ready for a movie?
Leave the
Wow.
Leave the kids out of it.
Especially
Yeah.
this movie.
Especially when Jeremy's not
Although
talking.
it is
We gotta leave
about
kids out.
kids.
It is.
technically.
Well, you know.
Children education.
Oh, I watched the wrong movie then.
We are going to talk about 2002's Death. Oh,
Fucked it up. Take 2.
Yeah, Justin and his.
Justin has a giant soundboard. 2002's Death to Smoochy.
We'll count it.
Did you like that?
I will allow it.
Did you even go over that with him beforehand?
Well, he
Not
did it
really.
before. I mean, he listens to things.
I do.
17 years ago.
It's true. I mean, I listened to a bunch before I came here.
That was that was over a year ago that we.
Yeah,
did
because it was
yours.
my birthday last year.
Wow.
Happy birthday
Around
last year.
my birthday
Time
last year
of-
because I just got back from Colorado
Time
I just got
flies.
back from Colorado a
know.
couple weeks ago.
God damn it.
God, I'm gonna.
We'll talk about that later.
Fuck your phone up. That thing always messes up our podcast.
No, it doesn't.
That's why we lose listeners by the dozen.
We were good for
I've
at least
already
like 4
stopped
episodes in
We
a row.
lose listeners by the force.
I mean, our biggest listener stopped listening a while ago, and
You
she-
can't
Stacy?
call her that.
Yeah,
Wait, what do you mean biggest?
That's inappropriate.
Okay, fuck you.
I'm trying to protect her. I love Stacey.
And the other one.
You know,
too.
Justin, like I don't get you sometimes. Like I know you and you're a genuinely nice guy, but your humor comes in the most fucked up times ever.
I noticed that about myself as well.
Somebody's dad could have got ran over by a bus, and then you make some sarcastic.
Look, was it running on
We
time?
actually were just talking about that.
Was it running on time? And then you like just smirk and look at everybody to see how the room is, and then it's like, nope, okay, I'll go back to
Did they use the fast pass?
probably.
Didn't get a transfer.
Anyways, we're talking about a
Wonder if
movie,
he
not
had exact change.
Justin's off.
If it helps, my dad is probably getting his plugged today.
What?
Yeah, my dad is. We'll move on. We'll move on.
That's a Smoochy.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's a bad segue. That's,
Yeah, that's a.
yeah.
I see what you're talking about.
He'll take that under advisement.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's all we ask, man. That's all we ask.
Point taken.
Anyway.
So death to Smoochy.
Yes.
After 6 minutes.
Just cut out the entire beginning of this
This
podcast.
fucking movie. This is one of the best black comedies I think that's out there.
Ooh, all I saw were white people in it.
That's true.
It was 2002. That's all there was in Hollywood.
This is by Tyler Perry.
White people. Hey,
Yeah, but Tyler Perry had
but there was a little
impregnated
person
Hollywood,
in it,
yeah.
so that gave it
True.
some diversity.
It's true.
And there was an Irishman,
And some
couple
Nazis.
Irishmen. Yeah, there was Nazis in it. It's when they were still people.
I don't Smoochy.
There was Danny DeVito's in it.
Yeah.
He directed it and wrote it.
Yeah,
He
this
didn't,
was
he didn't write it, but
Filmed right.
back in 2001
he's like
from
Edward
January to
Norton,
May.
yeah.
It was only filmed within like 5 months. It's like that's kind of a fast for how busy this kind of
Well, back
movie is.
then,
I mean,
then it was fast. Nowadays, they film like Avengers movies in like 5 weeks.
Sure.
no Justin
Machines.
Ferguson.
That's because I think
Films,
they're
Avengers
filming like
movies.
because they don't want like especially with Endgame they were filming at the same time different things so nobody knew.
Oh, right.
whatever,
They about have to.
Yeah.
But this movie,
Does not
man,
have any.
I'm
Avengers in
gonna
it.
start the
Wait,
ratings.
technically, it has one.
I'm gonna start the ratings on this movie.
Perfect. Go
There's
for
some amazing things about this movie that I want to get to and talk about. I can't say this movie's perfect because in some spots it kind of drags a little bit, and I think it relies too much on some slapstick elements, which is not my favorite brand of comedy. But for the most part, it stays in its lane. It's a great dark comedy with elements of humor that I don't think are meant to be comical, but just come off played is great. And then I watch this and I wonder how much of Robin Williams' lines were actually written lines and how much he actually ad-libbed. Like there's so many parts. Like my favorite part of this movie is when he's getting escorted from the courthouse to the car from his lawyer.
That was almost all improv.
Yeah, that's so fucking perfect.
My name's not.
My name's not Randolph.
I'm bleeding.
That's
You're a
salmonella.
lawyer. That's salmonella.
That's salmonella.
What about the rumors you're
Who touched
mentally
my-
unbalanced? Who the fuck said that?
Who touched my ass? But that line's perfect. I think if I had to rate this movie, I'd give it an 8.5.
Nice.
Which I do have to rate the movie, and I just did. So
Good job. So it's weird because I feel like I did see this movie, but as I was watching, I'm like, I've only seen bits and pieces of it.
I think I've like shown you clips.
Yeah, and
throughout
I was
the
going to
years,
say
yeah.
a lot of it. I see where a lot of your humor when we used to live together, John, came from because there's a lot of things that they were said, and there's audio clips where I'm just like, oh, that was John's voicemail message from
Yes.
12
When he
years
calls,
ago
yeah.
and stuff like
Did we
that.
even
And
say
it's
what
like,
this movie was to people? Like, did we even tell them what this was first?
You did not. You said what the movie was, but you didn't give a
I
synopsis.
think Lonnie just jumped right into rating.
You
I did because I was trying to get us somewhat back on track.
No, fair enough.
We'll keep it in this format.
But yeah, definitely, it's a humorous movie. It's one of those movies that I glad it was made when it was, because if they tried making that nowadays, a lot of things would have had to get cut from it. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything negative to say. There is one thing I will say at the end when we tell what we do differently, which I have a feeling I'm going to get a lot of heat from you guys, especially probably John for my one thing, but you'll understand when we get there. But I'm going to give this movie a 7.5.
Right on. This movie I've seen, well, pretty much when it came out, and I think I wasn't mature enough to understand a lot of the dark humor back then. I was in my teens. This is 2001. I was closer to 16 or so. 14, I would say. And I think a lot of the stuff that like lived in my mind of this is other people's takes of it. And I enjoyed other people's takes more so than I did the movie. I mean, than the movie back then when I watched it. So it kind of grew on me. It kind of became that like, yes, it is an awesome movie. And then when I watched it again, I was like, wow, it wasn't exactly what I remembered, but it's very enjoyable. There is also a few things that I can take it or leave. We'll get into that also later. But I will have to parallel with you with a 7.5.
Very nice. Very nice. So I wanted to bring this one up because, like last time when I was here and I brought up Terminal, like I want movies that people know the actors. It's Robin Williams. It's Edward Norton, you know, but not a lot of people have seen this movie. And there's reasons, obviously, like it's not for everyone at all. I knew this group would probably be about where you guys are. I knew Lonnie would like it. I knew you guys would like it. Justin, I didn't know because, you know, he's weird. But
There was no
The fuck is that
there were
supposed
no
to be?
no Asians in it.
no Asians during combat.
Yes, there
If
was.
there was. It's in the background.
Oh, is it? Is he ninja starring someone?
Yeah, and during the
They
ice,
went to the
during the
China.
ice show.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Leave it
That's
to
very
Ju-
fair. Actually.
leave it to Justin to find it.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I love this movie growing up. I was introduced to it via a friend, Daniel Stewart. He showed it to us. We did like a movie night, and being a huge Robin Williams fan, like obviously I love this movie a lot. Is there things that are wrong with it? Sure. No movie's perfect. Like Lonnie said, like it's far from perfect. And there's a lot of jokes, like you said, that would not fly today. You said something about being cut. Like there's so much cut when it's on like TBS and TNT. Like the
I can
rocket ship
imagine.
part, is completely cut. Even when he spills the coffee and he's like, my balls are on fucking fire. That's cut. But this is in my upper echelon of top 20 movies. So I give it a 9.
Rating of
That gives us a BPT rating of 8.5.
Nice. Right on the money.
Nice job, Lonnie. You win the
called it.
prize
I
of
did
this.
it. I did
Get the
He
it.
sort of
fuck
seems to do that.
outta
Let's
here.
call my Jewish mother and tell her so she can still not be proud of me.
If it matters, Lonnie, I'm proud of
Can we
you.
call her? Like, can we like
Yeah, can we do that?
get the,
And
have,
be like,
have John do it, like, be proud of your Jewish son. He
Be proud
did
of your son. Give me something to be proud of.
He got something with numbers.
The only thing she's ever been proud of is Moxley.
To bounce back to the
John Moxley?
to the Asian thing, you know when Smoochy gets assassinated and he falls into the puddle and you see the reflection, that is the Chinese characters. It says death.
Death. Rhino death in another scene. I wrote that in here specifically for you.
Thank
I have
you.
that on there, but let me do the synopsis so everybody knows what the hell we're talking about real quick.
Yeah.
This is from IMDb's like second one because the first one didn't really explain much. Fired in disgrace, kids show host Randolph Smiley finds himself on the street while his replacement Sheldon Mopes finds himself on the fast track to success with a new hit show as the proud purple rhino Smoochy. It's basically a ripoff of Barney.
Yeah.
Basically. In the original script, did you know he was orange?
Yes.
Nope. And I didn't even know he was purple in this one.
But things turn out for the worse when Sheldon finds
he's
out that some
colorblind.
people that he works with and some he doesn't know he's working for are all in it for the money. Meanwhile, Randolph is slowly turning insane and his only thoughts focusing on killing Smoochy and getting back his life of luxury. So it's basically about the corruption of children's television
And that's such
and
a
how Make-A-Wish and shit is involved.
right.
Yeah.
It's such a fun aspect to look at too.
Yeah.
I like how this movie, it basically, opening scene, it gets right into it.
Yeah.
There's no beating around the bush.
And the song is great. All the songs in this movie are fucking awesome. I love that's one of my favorite parts of the song.
They're so
Your stepdad's
They
not
see-
me, just adjusting. But sorry, I didn't mean to derail.
No,
your thought
no, that's
there.
what I was just gonna say. Is it got right into it, and I like that opening scene where he's taking the money bribe, and then they're like, "Freeze,
freeze,
It's just
cocksucker!
like I wasn't expecting that at all.
You little booger eater on my show. I still call kids booger eaters.
I think the main trope of this is like when the good guy lives long enough to become the bad person. It's that pretty much story. So
A little bit.
Sheldon also has that potential to also. I mean, he kind of almost did when he grabbed the gun at the very end, but yeah.
For those who don't know, Sheldon's all clean cut. Like he's everything. He wants to eat organic cookies and shit like that. And everybody else is just corrupt and about the money. And don't give a shit.
He's the only one who still kind of maintained his heart, even though the person whom which he got the most inspiration from, also went corrupt.
Don't they all?
Yeah.
Don't they all?
There's something about this movie that a lot of people don't know. This movie was a complete flop. Like,
Yeah, I actually
financial-wise.
have the box office numbers if you want to go through them real quick.
Yeah, they were. It had a-
Spin them.
So it received a wide release by playing in over 2,100 theaters opening weekend in the United States, but it only grossed $4.2 million its opening weekend and only a total of $8.3.
Yeah, on a $50 million.
$50 million budget, which I'm almost positive 66% of that went to getting Edward Norton and Robin Williams.
See, in 2002, Edward Norton had.
Well, I think Robin Williams already had.
Well, Robin Williams had 3 movies that year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with
Insomnia,
DeVito,
1 Hour photo, and
DeVito
they'd
and
always
Edward
want to
Norton,
work
yeah.
together,
Yeah.
and like he had to convince him because originally Jim Carrey was attached
Right.
for that part.
Yeah, I
And he
don't.
dropped out, and
Yeah,
they
I
were
don't-
like,
to do Majestic, which was the only movie I ever walked out on.
"Really?
Oh,
I don't think I've seen it."
it's actually
For
good.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
You talking about?
Yeah.
What is it about?
It's about a guy who does things.
Oh,
I walked out on it.
I think
dude.
I've seen that.
I think I might have seen that one, honestly, like not based on that description, but I don't know.
Oh, by that time, yeah, they probably spent a big penny on.
At least
Norton.
Robin.
Well, on Norton for sure, but.
Well, yeah, because that's right after. Well, what I like about this is we just saw him in like Fight Club and
Yeah.
American History X, and it's
Yeah.
like now he plays this like clean cut,
But he was
fucking
also,
nerd.
He was also in Rounders, like that was
Yeah.
pretty big at the time, and then Primal Fear. I think Primal Fear is what put him on the map, like for horror fans.
Yeah.
So then when he started slowly getting known in more of the mainstream, people were like, he was like the hipster actor.
Right.
I think a lot of people were shocked that Robin Williams did this. You know, like he's coming off of Patch Adams and Flubber and
Going
Jack
Dirty.
and Miss Doubtfire. You
He
know, like
probably
all
had
those
to
are
do it
family
for
films.
himself.
Right.
Right.
It's just,
He needed a movie.
100%.
It's like his stand-ups they had some pretty dirty
yeah.
stuff early on
he's
before
like
he
Bob
went.
Saget. He's
Yeah.
very raunchy in his stand-up, but in front of the camera, he's a wholesome family person. So this is probably a relief for him to do something like this.
How am I supposed to blow if you won't let me grow?
Yeah, this bombed a lot. Like you said, $8 million. 1 Hour Photo that came out in September of that year did $52 million, so not too much better. And Insomnia in May, so 2 months
I
later,
wonder if
was
there was-
$113 million.
What else came out when this came out? Because there had to have been something big blockbuster.
I don't even remember. Like we were in high school, so it's like I don't even look it up.
look
That's
that
why we have the Google machine.
I think this was so bad that did you already say it? It was Robin Williams was nominated.
we talked
for a
about it
Razzie?
before we
right.
got on here, but
Yeah.
no.
So Robin Williams was nominated for a Razzie for this one, which is
Best
pretty much
supporting actor, yeah.
a worst award, I guess. I think at that time the only person who actually accepted their Razzie was Halle Berry.
Was that for Catwoman?
Yes.
Possibly. I think so.
I mean, that's pretty shit. So
All right. Let's see. 28 Days Later came out in 2002. Signs,
those two would have
Mr. Deeds.
dumped on this.
in March, like what came out in March
Oh, it came out
specifically?
in March?
Yeah, because this was March 29th.
Panic Room,
Panic Room was big.
Ice Age,
Yeah, well, that would take the kids, but I don't think you're taking your kid to see this movie.
The Rookie, Blade 2, Clock Stoppers.
This is all in March.
Yeah. E.T.'s 20th anniversary.
So there was a lot to kind of take
Oh,
away.
A Beautiful Mind.
Oh yeah, that was pretty big.
Yeah, Ice Age
Lord of the Rings.
in March.
Yeah, these are all March ones that came out, March 29th, around that time. But yeah, there's some movies that definitely fucked it up.
Yeah,
I'm a-
50 million kind of surprises me for the budget.
I'm a fan of Jon Stewart, but I think his earliest introduction to this, he has more of a lisp, but then he loses it the rest of the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
think
He has
I
more of
noticed
a harder one.
Hank
where they're
Azaria was first up for that role.
yeah. Squeaky fucking clean.
Squeaky fucking
I-
clean.
I like the character.
Squeaky fucking clean.
I like the character of Spinner. Hey guys,
Spinner cracks me up. Okay,
AK.
I'm gonna go take a dump.
I watched this with Mike.
5-star restaurant.
I watched this with Michael, our producer,
Yeah.
and I just said, for whatever reason, I could see him playing that part and talking
Michael
like that.
playing
Yeah.
Spinner.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna poop.
I'm gonna take a dump.
Oh yeah.
Smoochy here.
But yeah, I love that character so much.
I think Sheldon's character in this is kind of a. I think Sheldon got amnesia when he was Derek from American History X, because there's
Here
kind
we
of like
go.
a throwback to that too. So you have like all the Nazi stuff, and then you see Sheldon.
How
He
does
kind of
Smoochy-
has. anger issues. And then there's a part at the very end where he's like, you fucked with the wrong rhino. And right before he does the curb stomp, he says, you fucked with the wrong bull. So they use almost the exact line.
Oh, I get. Yeah, I know what you're saying now. I thought you meant the curb stomp in Death to Smoochy.
Yeah,
I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, there's no
You're
curb
talking about
stomp.
American History X.
Same movie. And then like he went into the whole kids TV because of the trauma he felt from his brother dying. So that's what that is. This is him.
You know what,
This is
Justin?
American History X.
Shut up.
So much sense.
I think you need to, for the rest of the podcast, do it in your best impression of Harvey. What the fuck's his name?
Harvey Firestein or whatever.
Harvey
Yeah.
The Pareto needs every single.
I always think of him from like Mrs. Doubtfire
yeah.
and Independence Day.
I gotta call my lawyer. I gotta call my mother. Nah, forget my lawyer. You would never ask.
What does he say, Mrs. Dower? He's like, Ma, don't.
I don't even know.
The Pareto needs
I
every
need you to make me into a
single
woman.
dollar.
I'm so happy no one
says no to the ice show.
We all do some pretty decent
I know.
impressions of him.
My voice is getting a little parched. I need to drink some of this with my liquid alfalfa.
Yeah, we don't have. So he's drinking an orange bang, but it's not out of the can.
Oh,
it's
it's
out
not.
of his can. Oh, it's not orange bang?
No, it's
Then
not.
I have no fucking idea what's in the can.
Liquid alfalfa.
Because I think it has.
Garlic,
That's
Thank
you. Yes.
ginger.
Do you know that stuff that he put on his
his own concoction.
yeah, he made it up in the hotel. Like the almond butter thing he puts on the hot dog.
Yeah, oh,
His
yeah.
teeth were all blue. I love that scene though, because he's such a klutz, and he's going into the restaurant and they're like handing out the corn dogs, hot dogs, etc.
Yeah.
And like when he's moving his hands, there's juice from like the hot dog, like just kind of bouncing on her. And he's so serious in his speech, like he's just rolling with it.
He believes in his values. You know?
And I love that too. Like one of his first introductions is at the Coney Island
Coney Island,
methadone
like, meth
clinic.
clinic, yeah.
So what would you think if you were a meth head, in recovery,
Right.
and you're staring in the center of this room with this pink rhino singing to you, like, am I recovering? Like,
He's like, Phil, you know what I'm talking about.
We'll get you off this smackle. Yes, we will.
like you can change the world, but you can't. Change
I was
the world, but you
thinking
can-
more the reaction of the Nazis when Smoochy comes out, because it's like, what the fuck? Who?
They're all for that.
What kind of Smoochy? Yeah, no, I get it, but probably gay.
Well, weren't the Nazis?
No, I was quoting Robin Williams. He's like, it's probably gay. What's
yeah.
with that big erect horn? Robin Williams definitely steals
He does.
every scene he's in, and that's no surprise, honestly. But it's a lot of what makes this funny is his delivery of the line.
Most anytime you
itself.
see him, like you just wind him up and you just want to watch him go.
I think that's what they did. Danny DeVito's like, I don't even have a script for you to show up.
There's a few people kind of like working with Eric Green. He's one of those people. It's like, wow, this guy can just go. Walter Shatley, like he, you know, some of our local actors for the listeners, they're relatively the same sort of, I guess the improv. They got that skill.
One of my favorite lines that Robin delivers is when he's in with Sheldon and what's her name? Nora. And they're in his like penthouse or whatever. And he breaks in with the gun and he's like going off the rails. And he's like, look what you've done to this place. It's all Diane Fossey. When I lived here, it was Bob Fosse. Right here. I had a picture of a naked chick holding a plant. Very tasteful. No bush. Not a picture of your fucking mother. And it's a rhino.
That rhino picture, Edward Norton still has.
Still has it. Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. The one thing about this movie too,
I just love that delivery. That's one of my favorite lines.
Is
fucking mother.
Catherine Keener? This
Yeah. How do we think about her?
I feel like you're
movie
going to say
made me-
something like she's very beautiful.
I love her in
Yeah.
everything.
You're
This
gonna,
movie really like brought out her sexiness to me. I think.
Is it the silhouette of her taking her pants off?
No,
I feel like you
That
would
does
find
it
her
for
more
me, though.
attractive in Step Brothers though, because she's older.
she wasn't in Step.
Wasn't that her mom? Was that
No,
the
that's
was
the
somebody
lady
else.
that's in like every Christmas
She was-
movie ever.
She was in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't stepmom. So she was their mom.
He said Step Brothers.
Step Brothers.
Yeah, she's the
Yeah,
mom.
I thought
she's
that was.
not.
That's not her.
No.
No, that's the mom that's in Elf.
Yeah.
I see her. So
I mean, they're very similar looking people, but probably 15 years into age difference
Yeah.
at least.
I would do both of them.
I mean, I'm not picky.
what,
Is it breathing?
favors or
What? What were you gonna say, Lonnie? You were gonna say something before.
I don't know. He's in
Right.
disbelief that he doesn't
Yeah,
believe
I
us.
gotta look this up.
yeah? So
Not
when
that I don't believe you, but I don't believe you.
that scene when Randolph is doing the monologue at gunpoint, like the
Yeah.
fucking Bush, very classy or whatever he said. It's like there's that rhino that's right behind him, and it's kind of like taking that dominant position, looking straight at him. Like the rhino is actually going to take the win for this. So his weapon is the horn, and he has something natural, something from within or part of him, like Sheldon. So Sheldon uses his natural gift of happiness or so. This did remind me a lot.
Positivity.
Yeah, this did remind me a lot of the TV show Happy. Did you watch that?
Which one?
The TV show
Happy?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Who was in? When was this?
What's his name? Malone, the dude from Law and Order.
Yeah, it's definitely not the same person, by the way.
It's
Malone.
not Post Malone with that stupid cover.
Yeah, let's not. I just got it out of my head,
That's
guys.
tape.
No, I just got it out of my head. Can we stop it?
Oh yeah.
She's also the mom in Get Out.
Yeah, that for sure. Yeah, that was Mary Sternberg.
Yeah, she's like the mom in every Christmas movie.
There's another favorite line I liked about this where right before Sheldon takes the stage or Smoochy takes the stage, he's like, there's a lot of kids and meth heads out there. Like he wants to make them happy and stuff. It's like, why are you mingling the kids with the, addicts?
It's the
drug
line he
addicts?
said. I can't remember exactly what the line is, but he's like, it starts with the little ones first or something like that.
Yeah,
And I was
little
like, what the fuck?
adult meth heads come from little crack.
Yeah, that's from little crackheads, something like that. Yeah.
Or junkies, sorry. Adult junkies come from little junkies.
What's your favorite song?
I would probably have to say the Stepdad.
The
one.
Stepdad one
Oh,
is
yeah.
super funny.
100%.
It's super funny. I actually, no, I'd probably have to say the Stepdad one. The rocket ship one too. Right before how they changed it. It's like, no, natural oil straight from the soil or whatever it is.
Did anyone else have nightmares about Buggy Ding Dong?
Bro, that dude is
Like the Vincent Chevalier,
Oh, that guy is.
She
He's
also got with
melting.
him. She also got with Wally the Whale and Jingle Jackson and Buggy Ding Dong.
Buggy Ding Dong. Was he a train conductor
He called her.
or something like
He's like, you're just like a little kitty host groupie.
Kitty House Groupie.
Every time I see that guy, I think of Ghost.
And
where
that's
he's
not him.
The fuck are you talking about?
That's not him. That's
He's
not,
in the movie Ghost.
He's not in the movie
Yes,
Ghost.
he is. He's
no,
the ghost
he's
that's
not.
on
Wait,
the train.
what name do you
Look it
got?
This episode is just going to be people thinking they're in movies
He's
and then
not
us
in
looking them up
Ghost.
to prove them wrong.
Fuck, he is.
Look it up.
He's right. It's the second thing on his IMDb page. What are you?
He's
on?
just mad because we said Catherine Keener was not in this one, or not in Step Brothers.
Holy shit, he was in Ghost.
What is happening?
You have to keep reading.
This side of the room needs to stop saying
I thought he
things
was like that the killer guy in Ghost. I thought that's what you were talking about.
I said the guy on the train.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
Anyway,
Fuck.
So here's another thing.
I'm doing this episode sober. Leave me alone.
So when Nora drops by drunk, she's wasted. She comes in. There's a part where Sheldon talks about getting such a sparkly glow. And he crosses.
you
grow
probably got to
too.
grow too.
Yeah, he crosses two black cats, and there's like a child cat, and then there's like a parent cat. And oftentimes, a cat crossing your path is bad luck. But two black cats can mean you have to find a balance in your life, and that is possible. That
Like a
you're,
yin yang.
yeah,
No, that
balance.
makes double bad.
You got to take the bad, and you got to take the white, right?
What? Hail
That was
Smoochy.
Yeah. So two black cats can mean you have to find a balance. That is, it's possible that you are thinking too much of the needs of other people, but you have to think of your own needs as well. Groups of black cats also mean not to trust those you consider friends. But as he does this, he stops in front of the child cat, maybe relating to his inexperience or infancy.
John, do not encourage it. It only gets worse as the more episodes you do with us.
Did you also know that Spinner was actually going to be played by Henry Rollins?
That I did know.
That would have been.
But I didn't know who Henry Rollins. I'm not gonna.
You didn't know who Henry
I had to look
Rollins
him up.
You don't know who Henry Rollins
I already
is?
said
You don't
that.
know who's in half the movies we're talking about.
He does. He's just using the wrong names.
You got to be fucking with me. You've never seen Hedwig and the Angry Inch, and you don't
No.
know who Henry Rollins is.
know.
God damn you.
I'm a fan of Sweeney Todd,
Am I kicked off the podcast now?
the demon barber.
This is a trial run, motherfucker.
So, yeah, when Rainbow Randolph Smiley, he visits Angela Pike, Angela's wearing an apron with a Sweeney Todd written on it.
Yeah.
I love that little throwback. There's a few things in there. There was also like an American Psycho throwback into it. So there's like a drawing of the police discovery at Angelo's house, the little guy. What do we call him?
The best small person actor ever besides fucking Gary Oldman.
Legend. Gary Oldman?
Yeah.
Oh, he was.
I was going to name another movie that
Yeah, the midget.
Midget was in.
Hey!
But,
Little guy.
well,
Little guy.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I think he calls himself a midget.
No, he's 100% does. Name another movie.
I will name one, but Lonnie's like, no, he was not. That's my Lonnie impression.
Do it. Name a movie and I'll prove you wrong.
Employee of the month.
Who's an employee? It's fucking
Dane Cook.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So anyway.
Rachel McAdams.
No.
At Angelo's place, there's a drawing, and it's supposed to be like the
I was
the
going to say
police thing.
Jingle All the Way, by the way.
And it's kind of Patrick Bateman's secretary finds in his date book. It's the same drawing.
Say what now?
There's a drawing at Angelo's house, and it's the same drawing in American Psycho that Patrick Bateman's secretary finds in Patrick Bateman's date book.
Gotcha. I was lost there.
Did you guys know? So even the newspapers have like jokes in them too.
Oh yeah, I love those.
So in the newspaper, Nora gives Sheldon, it's visible in the shot. The middle right paragraph reads,
The story.
are you going to read it or you want me to
go for
read
it.
it? You fucking son of a bitch.
I stole the same quote.
Did you? I was like, I gotta say things before Justin does. The stories that people come up with are so very entertaining. Create different articles every day? ? I'm sure it's not much easier when you have a topic to write about, which I currently do not. The serial killer pictured above is in fact not really a serial killer. Or he or she is probably a friend of someone who let us use their photo. Like that's actually in the paper itself. I actually paused it to look and see. I was like, holy shit, that really is in there.
I usually do that with some movies because, like, I figure when they're like a newspaper or books or whatever, something's gonna be.
I actually did that on the products when they're like, get your Rainbow Randolph products or whatever, like Rainbow Randolph spaghetti and meatballs. Sounds terrible.
I noticed for me, like a lot of my favorite lines is not so much a big character, like in, what is it, The Evil Within? It was just like the guy who had the videos with whatever. Anyways, this one, my favorite line where they're like, we're going to find Randolph, cut off his balls, and shove him up his ass. Sheldon says something like, maybe we should just leave that for the cops. And then one of the Goonies, he's like, cops won't do the ball thing. It's against their procedure.
I like just like the dry delivery on some of this stuff. Like when
You're so serious.
when my brothers used to play Cowboys and Indians, I was the Chinese railroad worker.
Did you know this movie had a very young, uncredited Caitlin Hale in it?
Who?
Caitlin Hale?
Who?
Caitlin Hale.
He doesn't know who Caitlin
know
Hill.
who Caitlin
You can
is.
keep saying it. He's
She
not going
was.
to know.
She's only been in a couple movies, but she was in School of Rock.
I didn't see that here.
She was one of the kids in School of Rock. Yeah, she was in A Blonde Girl. She was the only kid who was in every single Smoochy episode.
Was she a Rhinette?
No, she was just a little blonde girl.
But was she?
There
one of
was
the
a
Rhinettes?
blonde girl who was kind of like taken out between.
Did they put a costume on her?
No, she was just a little kid.
Gotcha.
Going back to midgets, I knew one midget in my life.
What the fuck?
And it's in your pants.
This person called
I'm glad
themselves a
we're
midget.
throwing all politically. I'm being politically correct. I have not.
That's
called
what's wrong with you,
one
though.
racial
It's not a-
epitaph tonight.
Will you let him talk about the dwarf?
There's
You can keep changing the name.
There's a whole bunch of gay people in this movie. There's the Irish. There's a whole bunch of homosexuals, and there's little people.
bunch of
And I haven't said
homosexuals.
one racist thing tonight. But
Neither
you
have
guys
I.
are throwing around the M word like it's fucking nuts.
What is he talking about?
Hold on,
That's
no.
what they like to be called.
He's an
No,
angry,
they don't.
he's an angry elf.
He must be from the South Pole.
He's a South Pole elf.
He's smart like me. Anyways, Angelo, the actor, he called himself a midget. Angelo's character, like his place.
Yeah, black people call themselves the N word all the time. You gonna do
Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Anyways, his whole house was catered to him, but like the little guy that I used to know, when I say little guy, it just sounds cute, and I'm not trying to make it cute. Okay, the
Catered.
small dude.
I bet he'd rather
Catered to him.
99% of them would rather be called little guys
Details.
than the M word.
It's not. It's people.
You dug
it's-
this hole.
No, it's the politically correct white knights who kind of make it even more sensitive, though.
Correct.
Someone has to
How
be
was
one.
so? How was his house catered to him? Like
It was everything was small, like this. The oven, the stove was all small.
That's a picture-in-picture.
There's a guy that I knew who used to contract my dad for some construction and
Sex.
stuff, and like,
I think that's actually Danny DeVito's house because he's actually about the same
Yeah,
height.
he's like 5'1", 5'2".
he's the tallest midge. Can I say
Danny
midge?
Woodburn is his name, by the way. The midge.
Yes, that guy.
The dwarf.
Midge is fine, right?
Yeah, midge is fine.
You got to say it with the.
My midge.
I'll allow it. Jeez.
So what about
I gotta go take a dump.
what about the midge you knew?
Their house was like fit for the size. I can't. Let's move it on. This shit's gonna break right now.
Oh, John's as red as his shirt.
I'm saying I don't know any other houses that are like catered to a person's stature. Hell Smoochy.
Oh
my God.
We need to make a BPT shirt that has midge on it.
All you had to do was apologize. We could have moved on.
So, there's a part where, what's her name?
Catherine Keener.
Yes, where she's
Nora?
like, yeah, Nora. Where Nora's like, merde, which she's like, it means good luck, but it actually means shit. And Francois?
Oh, so the unemployed thing that I was talking about
Oh yeah, yeah.
is the rocket ship scene when he comes out and he's like, it's a willy, it's a dick, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
That in the beginning when we were talking about jizzing,
Yeah.
and you kept having the word jizz. So then Eric and I went and said different
Like
things. So
man
yeah, because that's
mud.
what I told him. I was like, that scene in Death to Smoochy when he keeps saying different words for penis or whatever. So that's like kind of how we got that.
It worked.
Yep. What are you blind? It's a cock. It's not a rocket, you sick fuck.
So I wonder they had to
Mr. Jiggle Daddy.
they had to have filmed that when the kids were not there.
It's made of dildo.
Because when he was saying those words, it was close-ups of him. I'm like,
So you probably don't see them.
I feel like
Rumble
if you had the kids there, you'd have a lot of conversations with them.
Kids are like, Mommy,
Jimmy
I'm in
and
a
the
movie. It's
Twins.
like, yeah, you'll watch it
Yep.
in 10 years.
Yeah, I'll watch it when you're 18.
I heard that was mostly improv as well.
Just,
Chorizo in the Huevos.
I just assume that everything. I just assume everything Robin Williams said was improv.
Right. I like literally
Imagine.
Yeah.
I know most of that press conference where he's, leaving the courtroom is almost entirely.
I love how the intensity of how this is a mob movie in a kid's
In a
TV
kid's
show.
world, yeah.
It's like it's kind of based off of Barney because of how he just kind of fell into fame all of a sudden, like out of nowhere. So it's relatively the same thing with Smoochy. But I loved how intense things was at the very end. Like these guys are in costumes and they're running around with like guns and stuff. And like I think it's also in the same universe as Batman because at the 34-minute mark, we get to see like a Variety newspaper. And on that, it says something like Gotham. So, and there is no Gotham in.
Well, I mean, that's what they refer to New York as is Gotham. A lot.
Now they do.
Yeah, maybe now, but
I found it extremely funny that Buggy Ding Dong had like.
I just think you like saying his name.
it has a narcolepsy. It's like
Oh yeah, he falls
falling
asleep when he's
asleep.
about
He
to
doesn't
snipe
have
you.
narcolepsy.
By the way,
He's
that
a
ice
fucking
show,
heroin addict.
that ice show was brilliant.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
I loved it.
did they make
Touched
that a
me.
real thing?
It touched
Like
me.
I feel like that could have been a real thing.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
after the movie came out. I mean, if it would have done better, maybe. But
Yeah, maybe. Instead of making like $84, whatever it made, and it was like my $84 because I went and saw it 12 times.
Do you guys remember the movie Good Morning Vietnam?
Correct.
yes.
Yes. There's also a part in this, like on the radio. Rainbow tells a reporter that Nora has been down on everything but the Titanic, which is the same line that during the radio on Good Morning Vietnam.
Really?
Another
I
throwback.
just watched that movie a couple months ago. I went into a deep dive of Robin Williams movies I hadn't seen. Like I hadn't watched Good Morning Vietnam in its entirety. Like I had seen certain clips and stuff like that. But I was super disappointed that I waited so long to watch that movie because that movie's excellent.
It's been a while since I've watched that movie all the way through.
I feel like it holds up, unlike The Godfather, which is terrible.
What? The Godfather's awesome.
I hate The Godfather.
It holds up. It didn't get a Razzie.
Hey,
This
this one.
I think so. In this movie,
Nominated.
the bad person has to be Nora because all of the people who date her seem to turn, and she refuses to date Sheldon
It's like
Smoochy.
an STD, basically.
Yeah. So if they were, he probably
Why'd you
would have.
to pause and think about that.
Because I have to work the math. Carry the one. Yeah, you're going to get hurt.
Yep, STD.
Yep. There it is. Boosh, you're pregnant.
I am?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. It's probably going to be a midge.
Pregnant. I feel like we have a quote that can go in right there from your little board.
Pregnant?
Ruined. Edit this part out and start over.
What's
Want
the...
me to use my teeth?
I don't know.
Not that one. Can't get pregnant. You're a guy.
He just programs stuff on the board. He doesn't know how to use it, though.
I got to find it.
God. That was a perfect
anyways.
setup, and you ruined it.
So
The
Danny
one
DeVito,
time-
Danny DeVito kind of calls this like a mix between Pulp Fiction and Barney. I thought that was kind of a really good because it has like all the different stories going on
Yeah.
and you're following. So it's like that does make sense. Also, my favorite, least favorite. So going through like some of the
Okay,
comic
yeah,
sections, one of my favorite, least favorite quotes about this, like 1 star, it says, "Possibly Robin Williams' worst movie. I wanted to pop my eyes out and put them in backwards."
Nice. This is actually probably my favorite Robin Williams character. Like Rainbow Randolph is, I mean, it's up there.
Rainbow Randolph.
My name isn't Randolph. You know, we all spoke highly of this movie, but it is not critically
No, it's
panned
not.
as a good movie. I actually have a direct quote here from Mr. Ebert.
Oh yeah, that was.
You know, he's the end all be all of.
He poo-poos everything.
He literally poo-poos everything. I was talking about that the other day. It's easier to shit on something than to praise something.
Yes.
And I'm sure like most critics have like a 500 word minimum they have to hit, you know, and so why not shit on a fucking movie? But his quote was, "Only enormously talented people could have made Death to Smoochy. Those with lesser gifts would have lacked the nerve to make a film so bad, so miscalculated, so lacking any connection with any possible audience. To make a film this awful, you have to have enormous ambition and confidence and dream big dreams." He named the film the worst of 2002.
There was more, like Signs and
Yeah, I know. There was a whole shitload of them that were bad, but I don't know. I feel like Robert was just offended by literally everything in this movie.
Probably because he's so used to seeing Robin Williams in all these like masterpiece movies. And to
Yeah,
see
Good
him
Will Hunting. That,
take,
you know,
take on a role like this. It's just like, why? But it's
because
like,
he wanted to have fun with one of his friends.
Yeah, I think that's the
Him
issue
and
with like
DeVito are big friends.
a lot of people.
Well-
Not just critics, but like people can't empty
big
their
is
cup.
not the right word for.
Danny DeVito.
The issue with a lot of people is like
That's
they
my
can't empty their cup to like take something on just for
Right.
what the piece is. They're like, "Oh, I don't like it because it doesn't fit this format." It's like, well, it's
Right.
not that format. It's a different movie, like altogether. You got to take it for what that is and not compare it to all this other shit.
I think it just proves Robin Williams' range more than anything. Like,
I think so
he
too.
can do something amazing. He can do something stupid, ridiculous, and off. You know, I mean, this is a dark.
This is something straight
Dark
out of
fucking
his
movie.
stand-up routine.
Yeah, oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, like we said numerous times, we pretty much could think this is improv Robin Williams. If somebody said Robin didn't have a script, he just said things, we would 100% believe that.
Yeah.
I was also amazed of his acrobatics, his flips and stuff. Right on.
Friends coming outside. That's a fact. It's true. Oh, man. That's a good
Well-
soundtrack. Is it on Spotify?
Possible.
Are we
What
doing-
would we change about this?
I'm gonna start it up.
Go.
I
Yeah,
said
because
this
I'm
is-
curious about that. I've been curious about this since you said it.
So I like everything
stopped
about this
listening.
movie. The one thing I would change is I would recast Edward Norton. I don't think he did the character the justice it could have been done. I'm not a huge fan of Edward Norton to begin with. Everything I've seen him in, I don't think he does very well at it. Like, I love the movie.
The Hulk?
I love the movie The Italian Job, but I think he's a terrible bad guy in that movie.
I think he's a terrible
Not
actor in
believable.
that movie.
I
That's
think-
one of the few I shit on.
I think he's a terrible actor and everything. I think the only movie I saw him in that was good, and I can't even remember the name. I want to say it was called Keeping the Faith with him and Ben Stiller, where one of them was a rabbi and one of them was a priest.
I don't
and
think
they're-
I've seen that one.
it's a good
I
movie,
like him in Birdman.
but yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that they could have I was trying to think of who would be a better replacement of somebody at that time that was known, and there's one person that came to mind that I think could have probably done the part better. It would have had a different demeanor to it, but Matthew Perry, Chandler from Friends,
Maybe.
I think he could have.
I think at that time he was portrayed as too silly. Like, I think what worked about, now don't get me wrong, I'm not mad you want to replace Edward Norton. I get it. Edward Norton is not everyone's cup of tea, including directors and filmmakers, because
He does like to
changes
take so many liberties.
Yeah, he likes to change shit so much he gets a writing
Like,
credit
this is
for
great.
it. Yeah.
We're gonna do this now.
Yeah, we're going to do the exact opposite. I don't know. I think that, like I said earlier, him coming off of these movies like American History X and stuff like that, where he's just the opposite, I think it worked. I think Chandler is too silly. Matthew Perry's too silly at the time, because, I mean, that was still, Friends was still going on.
Yeah,
And
it would have been like their last season.
Yeah.
or close to it.
yeah. So, I don't hate that you want to change Edward Norton. I just don't agree with the recast.
Yeah, and that's just it. I was just trying to think.
But
of
that's
people at
hard.
that
That's what I'm
time.
also trying to, like, I can't.
I mean, I even thought of like Matthew Broderick and thought, he might be able to get that dorky vibe to that character off.
It was popular in 2002. I don't even fucking remember. We're all like, I don't know. Fucking, that was 20 years ago.
It was 20 fucking years ago. That's crazy.
Hold on, let's see what time.
Everyone's like on their phone and laptops now.
It's the most intriguing question we've had all day.
You can maybe do a Adam Sandler.
Kevin Bacon.
Ooh, Adam Sandler would be kind of
I don't know.
all over the place.
Yeah.
I think him and Robin Williams, I think with their range of characters that they do would
all
just
these
be
in the
butting
top
heads.
But Adam Sandler's you got to realize, decent character actor.
He is.
So I think he'd be able to
What about
stay
Nicolas
in
Cage?
his role. Yes.
David Spade.
Warwick Davis.
I think David Spade would have pulled off.
Yeah, put another small person on the cast.
Oh, I didn't even know. Martin Short, maybe?
I hate all of you.
Tim Curry?
Too soon.
I don't know. I'm looking at all these names. These are all like A-list, like Leonardo DiCaprio, Will Smith, Denzel Washington, Tom Cruise. Like, no, like those are two.
James Spader?
No,
No, he's probably. You need
James
like a younger
Spader
face.
could play the Harvey Feinstein or whatever his name is part.
Yeah,
He could probably do that. The
Especially with,
leader
like,
of
his
the
Blacklist.
Make-A-Wish or whatever. I think James Spader could probably do something.
maybe
like
even
that.
Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Zach Morris.
Zach Morris.
The
Yeah.
American Werewolf or whatever. Or what's Dead Man on Campus? That's the movie
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
thinking of.
yeah. That's one of my favorite. I love.
I like that movie. I don't care.
It's
what
like I
anybody
put the
says.
gun in my head and I went bam, bam. It's like if it was that real, I don't think he'd get that second shot off.
I think Johnny Depp could have played the part. He
Yeah,
could play
he's
any
on
part.
this list I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I was kidding though, Johnny Depp.
Jackie
I
Chan.
don't know though.
I don't know. I think Johnny Depp could have
Brad
done the
Pitt,
role
maybe?
You
well.
think so?
Yeah.
Ooh, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, maybe.
That would have been an interesting.
Justin
one.
Timberlake. Fresh face.
No, he was like 11.
Yeah. So
Bye. Okay.
I'm shouting.
fuck. What's his
I
name?
mean, he could sing the song.
What's the dude from?
I think
Idle Hands.
that Brad
Devin
Pitt
Sawa?
Yes.
is underrated in the sense of his comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Like he
Oh,
is
yeah.
actually super.
Oh,
you
Ocean's
guys seen the
11?
trailer for Bullet Train that's coming out? That's right up your fucking alley. I don't even.
Maybe. I think so.
We'll watch it later.
He
but
was-
that looks amazing. It's
Brad
coming out
Pitt
in
was
August.
also funny as fuck in.
Man, I kind of
He was
like
good in
that.
the
I
Ocean.
kind of like
I
Brad
do
Pitt as
too.
that role. Actually.
That's the best.
Where he was kind of crazy in the asylum.
Not 12 Monkeys, but
7.
not 7. The newer one. Fuck, let me look it up.
8.
Hollywood.
Burn After Reading.
Oh yes.
What?
Yeah.
Burn After
After
Reading.
reading.
Oh, I don't think
He got blasted in the
I think
face.
Brad Pitt would have been an interesting.
I think I'm
recast for
I'm
that.
on board with this. I'm trying to hear him like say some of the lines.
Try getting him singing the Stepfather song.
I think he'd be great doing the songs. That's why it made me think of it, like him just sitting there with like a guitar.
I think Brad Pitt's a good eater. Almost everything that
Everything
you see him
he's in,
in,
he's eating,
he's eating.
yeah.
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 It's kind of like Jennifer Carpenter. She's
In the
always a good
trailer
crier.
for this movie I'm talking about, he like is either eating or drinking something too. I surprised you haven't seen it. This is right up your
Pretty sure I
alley a little
have
bit.
seen the trailer.
It's coming out in August still, so you'll see the trailer 411 more times.
Well, we want to wrap this.
Sure.
That's what she said.
So I get.
Oh, what'd you guys change?
Some
What'd you guys
things.
talk about?
I think there needs to be. I would have changed the Irish mob into an Italian mob just for preferences. You know,
Yeah, maybe.
makes sense. I wanted to go more with the mob.
They would hit him with a thing of salami.
Yeah,
I think I would have.
nice fine charcuterie.
I think I would have cast Spinner as a little less mentally deficient.
Yeah,
Made him more.
I think he's needed to be mentally deficient.
I think if this movie was made today, that would not even be a thing.
No, yeah. Make him a little less punch drunk and make him a little bit more super fanny.
Yeah.
And they definitely need more midges in it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it just
The more
How do you
midges,
mean
the better.
midges?
I mean, there's a lot. They're all Rhinettes and fucking,
Isn't
or the
isn't that
Crinkle Kids.
a synonym for vagina?
Midges?
Touching her midge.
I've never, ever heard of vagina.
Nor will anyone ever after this say that.
Pretty sure it is.
Okay, well,
Just get it-
now we know why Crystal doesn't like the
Check
foreplay
the-
with you.
yeah.
You
Just
want
get
me
it,
to
Touch your midge.
super deep in that midge.
You want me to flick
Yeah.
that midge?
I forgot to say something. The writer of this, Adam Resnick, is he was on SNL and David Letterman. So when you were saying earlier about some things was too like slapsticky,
Yeah.
I think that's where that kind of comes
Probably,
from.
yeah.
You know, the SNL skit type of humor, I guess.
Well, and most of the slapsticky stuff came from, I think, them not knowing what to do with something, so
True.
they took it a little too far.
We do that sometimes in our movies.
No.
Justin.
I didn't do anything.
It's just like it's writing something funny just
This
a
motherfucker-
little too
John.
long.
I mean, the one thing in Unemployed I remember is you deciding, and I love you for it because it was hilarious, dropping your fucking magazine, pulling your pants down, and shutting the door with your ass crack.
And it worked. One take, by the way. One take.
Speaking of, happy birthday to John's mom.
Yeah, happy birthday. What a segue.
Most professional ass crack in Hollywood.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
one take.
I don't see, one take.
It don't see
No,
The
no
fact-
slivers.
I was telling people the other day about the pudding scene where she spits it, and you guys wanted to do it, and I was against it, and I let you do one take, and you almost ruined it by laughing.
Everybody was laughing.
I mean, yeah, true, but you specifically, because you fell to the floor.
It's because I was starting to shake, and I'm like, he's going to see me shaking.
Yeah,
he's going to lose it. So I'll just
anyway.
fall on the floor.
Yeah. You ruin a lot of shots.
I do, because you guys don't tell me what's going on.
That's true. That whole dick is hard thing, we did not tell him. We told Guy, that was it.
Yeah, you told everybody else but me, and like, yeah.
No, not right. Just Guy, because he was the cameraman.
Yeah.
This
He needs to be
motherfucker's dick
still.
is hard. What?
This motherfucker's dick is hard.
It's so hard right now.
My dick is hard. So I get the next movie, correct?
Yes.
You do.
Ooh, Paul Rubens would have been a good Smoochy.
I think he was
Paul Rudd?
Paul Rubin.
I think Paul Rudd might not have been bad
Yeah.
either.
You think he was what?
I think he might have been out of the loop by
For
then.
doing nothing wrong?
Well,
He did nothing wrong.
Go
He
to
touched himself.
You go to a porn theater and
An adult theater. Yeah.
That's
Are we
what
talking
you're
about Pee Wee
expected
Herman?
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
guess
what you're
I never really
expected
knew
to
his
do at
real
these
name.
adult theaters.
I know who you're talking about.
At
Anyway.
least there, you know why the floors are sticky.
So are you going to
The
reveal?
popcorn.
I am going to reveal.
all right, let's hear
So
it.
our next movie we are going to be reviewing is 2019's
Oh, shit.
Uncut Gems.
Oh,
Adam Sandler's.
Oh, boy, do I have some things to say about that
There's quite
already.
a bit of midge in there.
I'll tell you, that is the one movie that has given me the most anxiety ever. So I'm looking forward to revisiting this movie after not having watched it for a couple years now. So why are you saying?
I just got some things to say. We'll wait.
Say a couple
right.
years. Wasn't it just last year?
2019.
2019, COVID was there, remember?
Wasn't 2019 last year?
Yeah, I mean, if you erase
Yeah.
COVID, it was.
Yeah.
Years have slipped by for me, so
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
sweet.
So that'll be our next one. But who's taking us out?
John?
John, do it.
What, I
Do it
don't
to
want
it.
to take us out. I'm not good at the outro.
You got to get good at it.
You got good.
Take it.
Well, guys, that has been Death to Smoochy. No, okay. So, 2002's Death to Smoochy. We all liked it. Go see it. It's on, what's it on right now? Is it on
Things.
Netflix or
I
something?
had to rent it.
Yeah,
Amazon.
I rented
Did
it
you
on
guys have to rent
Prime.
it? I own it, so.
Thanks,
that's
dick shit.
whatever, fuck you.
That's $4 I'll never see again.
Yeah, but it was worth it.
It was.
Yeah, so.
And I didn't pay for it.
Go
So.
rent it. Go watch Uncut Gems so you can go and have your own comments when we talk about it next time.
Ooh, that's nice.
So, for Justin, Lonnie, and Jeremy, and John, peace out, Girl Scout.
Bye-bye.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
This concludes our broadcast day.